Yes, all at once.
Yeah.
There we go. We're enthused. We're so excited to be here. That's what we want. All right, so, Math 321. I think this is day 4 of content. We're gonna look at decimals and rounding today. We're gonna start off with like, how do we get to decimals? Because we've been doing a lot of stuff with fractions. So let's say we have 1/4. How do we turn this into a decimal?
Division.
We deal with division. So what do we divide into what?
What was the question?
What do we divide into what?
Um, um,
Now, it can't hurt if you're doing it with a calculator, doing this. If you're doing it by hand, what you're really doing is this. And you'll add decimal point and zeros as needed. But I guarantee everyone in this, I fucking hope to God everyone in this room knows 1/4. Because what is $1 divided into 4? 25 cents, right? That's how we would write it in terms of dollars or 25 cents. But if you're entering into a calculator, that's the process. You do the top one first, then the bottom one. It's the fastest way to go. No point in keep walking division by hand. So just to make sure it's in the notes, divide top by bottom. It's called a decimal equivalent. Now, I have found this to be like universally true. From this class all the way up to Calc 3, students suffer or struggle with this. Students struggle with 2 things. Predominantly 2 things. A, identifying place value. And B, rounding. And the reason why this one is a pretty big factor is some questions will say round to 3 decimal places. But other questions will say round to the nearest 1,000. And these two are the equivalent. So we're gonna take a look at both. Anyone need longer? So let's take a look at following number. 8642 point. Let's go with 149. I don't know, 72. Now, most of you know what the decimal point is, that's clearly the decimal point. And many of you are comfortable with the numbers on the left. The 2 is in the ones place. The 4 is in the tens place. The 6 is in the hundreds place. And the 8 is in the thousands place. And it would be great if they did follow the same bucket pattern going to the right. And they sort of do, but they skip the ones. So we follow the right, this is not the 1th place. The 1 is in the 10th place. And when we're in a decimal, it adds on a THS after the word that's in, and it starts like basically one further to the other direction. So if we were going down this way, if I kept going, there would be 10,000ths. Or 10,000ths place, 100,000ths place. Same thing keeps going on this side. The 4 here is in the next one down, the hundreds. And we add THS at the end, it's in the hundredths place. The 9 is in the thousandths place. Seven is in the 10,000ths place. And the 2 is in the 100,000th place. I know for certain. I'm 100% confident. That homework will ask. For tenths. Hundredths. Thousands. I am nowhere near as confident. Not confident that they ask for. 10,000ths. They'll say 4 decimal places all the time. But I'm not confident that they type out 10,000ths. And I can't recall ever seeing 100,000ths. Do we know why we call them? We start with the 10th place and then 100th place and shit like that? It comes from the fraction, believe it or not. How much is a penny? Out of a dollar. Penny is 0.01, 0.01, right? Which this is the 100th place. But if we write a dollar bill as a fraction. Where we do the total pennies on the bottom. And the count on top. A single penny. Out of a dollar is 1 out of 100. And that is the same as 0.01 we know. And look at that, it's got 100 in the bottom. 1/10. 0.1. Guess what's on the bottom here? Yeah. I'd wait to see if someone was gonna actually answer, I said yes. Crickets. So that's where the naming convention comes from. Alright, you guys ready to round it? Does anyone need this longer? What are you eating?
Can I take a picture of the?
Sure, you know I scan it and put it on canvas, right?
Oh, I didn't. I mean, pizza.
It's what? Oh, pizza,
I did, it's got 2 slices of dairy.
that's how you do it. I don't know if you're on canvas tomorrow, but I know 10:30, 12:30, they're having San Marcos tacos. They're pretty, I like San Marcos tacos. But I get out of class at 10 and I'm not waiting an extra half hour for that tacos. And then fighting students, get the fuck out of the way, I'm getting tacos. Big man coming through, hey, Kool-Aid. You guys ready? Alright, so let's use that number we had there. I'll put it back up there, 8642. 0.14972. So when we round to a specific decimal place. We look. At the number to the right. If it's 4 or less. Like 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. I say round down. And when this happens, we delete everything after the number we're rounding to. That's our first option. And I will tell you right now, if you make it the whole semester without doing any rounding errors, you will be the fucking first stat student ever to probably do that. It's so fucking easy. It's really easy to get distracted, not think about it, just automatically chop off everything that's after, delete it. But option B does something different. If the number to the right is 5 or more. As in 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Step 1, we increase. The digit we are rounding to by 1. And then we chop off everything after it. You will make rounding errors and it's not gonna tell you that you made a rounding error. You would think it would be something that's fucking easy to program in. Say, oh wait, they got this, maybe tell them they rounded wrong, fuck no. They're gonna just tell you you did it wrong, tell you the right way to do it. Sometimes they'll say, the right way to do it is by hand. And in many circumstances, you're not gonna wanna do it by hand. No matter what it says, immediately check your rounding first, make sure that's not the mistake you made. Cause I'm gonna bet a good half the time, if you get something wrong. And you thought you knew what you were doing. That's what you fucked up. If you weren't confident you knew what you were doing, it could have been anything. But if you were pretty sure you understood what you were doing, you've been taking good notes, you. You know, did the same steps I did and you got it wrong, check the roundings. So let's start off our example with. Round to 4 decimal places the number above. So when we do it, we count over 4 decimal places and the 4th decimal place is the 7. We're gonna look at the number to the right of it. 2 is in the 4 or less category. So here we round down. I didn't even say what I call this one. This is round up. So in that case, we copied down the rest of the number that we had. Up to the point of the decimal that we were including, the place we were running to. This shit just gets chopped off, we don't have it. And that's our final answer. I had a really fun time with Roundup one day in real life. The company that makes World of Warcraft and StarCraft, Blizzard Entertainment, they do an annual convention. And when I was a student, I got tickets to BlizzCon and I got enough tickets. That I took my wife and my friends, we all went. And the first day of the convention, we're like there early, we're walking around, we see the spot, they have like this giveaway, like it's a shuffleboard thing. And like you had to slide the shuffleboard, like the shuffleboard's like this. And you gotta slide the shuffleboard by hand. And they have little like, it's sandy and it's so. It's the one where like it's a little disc, it's like a hockey puck and you slide it, it's sandy, so it slides really well. And like the best prize was here. And as you went further to the left. It was lower prizes, and if you went too far, this was like a pit, so you'd go over. And so we were like the first one in line, and since I got the tickets, my friends let me go first. And so I said, well, what happens if you land on a line? Like, what happens if it's like that? He says, I'll round up, I'll give you the better price. So I did it, I didn't get shit. But he's standing here, little dude. And I'm standing here, right next to him. Almost a little bit behind him, waiting for my friends. And Jabin, the first guy up. Fucking does it, but his. Lands like that, just barely crossing that motherfucker. And I saw that dude pause. He didn't want to round up. Round up! I fucking scared the shit out of him. But he did give the best prize, which was a wireless keyboard with a bunch of different colors, like 10 years ago, this was a pretty good prize. It was like $100+ my buddy carried that motherfucker around all day, he didn't even take it to the car, put it in, he wanted to show everybody he won it. Scared the shit out of that guy.
Cosplay.
Oh, hell no. But, oh, I'll tell you about the cosplay, there were some good cosplayers there. Oh, wait, no, I gotta do it now. So I don't remember which one, which LucCon was. There is like a spider queen. It's. Like the upper half is human, the back is like spider. And this chick's dressed out and she looks, I don't know, she's like an in-game boss in like World of Warcraft, I don't remember her. She fucking looked awesome. So she's taking photos with people. And I went to take a photo with her and I got my arm around her and then I could feel hot breath on my neck. And so I'm like this because I had already seen, she didn't do it to others, I hadn't seen her do it to other people, but she'd smile a lot and she had fucking razor teeth, like she had fake, like teeth in. And I'm like, there's some severing, like that's vampire shit right there, fucking creeped me out.
It was just.
I was like, what? Fucking good times. Alright, let's do our next one, let's round to the third decimal place. Or round to the thousands. I'll rewrite the numbers starting from the beginning. Let's see if I can find that picture, it was fucking, she was terrifying. Not looking at her, just having that fucking, is when I could feel the hot breath on my neck. Someone's gotta be fucking close to your neck to feel their breath, you know what I mean? Alright, thousands place is this spot. So we look to the number to the right and 7 is in the 5 or more category. So we round up. Scared the shit out of that guy, it's fucking so funny. So if I round up. I shouldn't have led with this is the rare case scenario. What is the next number above 9? 9 goes up to 10. Can I put a 10 in that spot? No. So if you're rounding a 9. Instead, grab the next number. What's the next number for 49? 50. So that's how we do it, when the place we're rounding to is a 9, and we need to round up. And we are going to keep that 0. Keep the 0. It's in the thousand spot, that's what we wanted. And it tells us. We rounded to this decimal place. This spot. It doesn't change the value of it, but anybody that's ever looking at it knows the accuracy of it. We are accurate to more, another decimal place, yeah.
Can't you leave the 0 out?
Are you not listening to what I'm saying?
No, I'm listening, but like, it's like the last number, why does it matter?
I'm telling you right now, I just fucking said it, let me say it again. Since you're fixated on it and you weren't listening, not because you were ready, you had it, it's a good question, but I was already answering it. The 0, keeping it in, it doesn't change the value. But it tells anyone that's looking at the value that this is accurate. It wasn't chopped off. When I rounded this, when we rounded here and we got a 7. I could have had a 0 here, I could have had a 1 here, I could have had a 2 here, I could have had a 3 here, I could have had a 4 here, and they don't fucking know. And like in some cases, they might wanna know. But putting the zero there, we're saying that one is accurate. If we rounded to this spot, we're within a certain margin of there. Now, the homework system might let you leave it off. But in general, don't, okay, fair enough?
Yeah.
Alright, okay, well, let's round to the hundredths place. And you know what? I'm feeling lazy. I'm not gonna go back and grab the old number, I'm gonna use the last number I did. And I'm gonna make a note of this, I'm lazy, using my last number. Sometimes they'll ask you what it is to 4 decimal places, and then immediately after ask you what it is to 3 decimal places. They do this. So if I had 8642.150. Wait, let's not go hundreds, let's go tenths. Round to the tenth place. That's gonna illustrate what I want to show. So if I use the tenth place is the last number I used, or this is the last number I used, the tenth place is the 1. I look at the 5. 5 is in 5 or more. So we round up. The 1 rounds up to a 2. And we chop off the rest. What if I use the original number? Eight six four two point 14972. What number do I get if I round there? You get a 1 in that spot, right? I was gonna wait. Because we look at the 1, that's what we're rounding to. The number to the right is 4, 4 is in 4 or less. We round down. So here I got this. And here I got this, which one is right? They're different. Who thinks the first number is right? Raise your hand. Don't be a chicken shit, Marcus. I just watched you look around to see who else is raising their hand. Don't be a chicken shit. We're loud and proud if you believe it's the first one. Who gives a fuck if you're wrong? You're gonna learn something if you're wrong. And if you're right, then you're like, yeah, that's right. No loss. Who thinks it was the second one? It's about half and half. Well, it's actually the second one.
What?
This is the correct one. On, hold on one second. On 8642.2. We rounded and then re-rounded. And that can introduce errors. If you have a bunch of calculations. Don't round until the end. And only round once. Yes, yeah,
Like, the one closest to like accuracy, so like the rerounded one is like less accurate than.
the rerounded is less accurate, yeah. It doesn't always happen. The rerounding problem only happens when this changed up to a 5. So it was a 4 and it got rounded up to a 5. The 5, if we were keeping the original 4 here. We would have rounded down any other number, if it was a 0, 1, 2, or 3. Even increasing it by 1 digit, we still would have rounded down. The problem is, it was 4, 9, we rounded that up to a 5, and then we rounded to that one. And by rounding from a 4 to a 5 and then rounding at the 5, we've changed fate. So put it off. Put off, if you gotta re-round, or if they ask you to round again, start over with the number you have. Unrounded. Also, don't round to the end. You'll see when we're doing some calculations, if you do rounding along the way. Like, there's a point where we're gonna calculate standard deviation for a number, like with a data set of 5 numbers. If you round along the way, your final answer can be a fucking way the fuck off. It can be really off. And the bigger, the more numbers that are in it, the more rounding you do, the greater chance of error. Let's see. So if the number ends in a 0. After rounding. In real life. Leave the 0. With it. This is your question, I'm just writing out an answer. The homework. Will definitely take, and I'll use it like an example number here. 0.350 or 0.350, if that's the right number. It should take. 0.35 or 0.35. Also, but I can't guarantee you guys. If they ask for a specific decimal place, they will may very well want you to put it in. And to add the reason why in words. 0.350 is accurate. To 3 decimal places. 0.35 is accurate to 2. That's even worse if there's more zeros there. Like if you had 0.400000. It's the same thing as 0.4 in value, but that's accurate to 4 decimal places. And this is accurate to 1. And sometimes accuracy matters. If you ever have to publish your work or anything like that, or submit it to your boss, you want that motherfucker to be accurate. If you wanna see visually what's going on when we round, let's say we round. 0.76. Do 1 decimal place. Poorly, what's going on? This is like 0.70 right here. That's 0.75. This is 0.80. And we're right here. But we wanna look at the bar where it looks like this. It doesn't show any of the shit in the middle. It just shows this stuff. Or 0. Let me get rid of the 0 there. 0.7, 0.8. We want it to look like that, but we want it to end up on one of our things. It's gotta go to the closest one. That's 4 away. That's 6 away. The closest one is this one. So. We round up to 0.8. That's graphically what's going on. You guys ready for some more? Imar, is that your car alarm? I'm fucking around, I was like, car alarm, I don't even hear a car alarm, just
I was like, I have horrible hearing, either selective hearing, I don't know, that's my girlfriend.
Mine's pretty shot too. Too much, my brother, when I was growing up, fucking would play like Metallica at. Like, turn that fucker to the max, and I wasn't like, I didn't listen to heavy metal, but it was like. It was like, what's the captive syndrome called?
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm, it was like Stockholm syndrome. I got subjected to Metallica blaring through the balls that it fucking overrated everything I was doing, and it's either. Fucking kill my brother one night, or just grow to like it, and now I like Metallica. It was total Stockholm syndrome with Metallica. Alright, next topic. Comparison operators. We have that one and we have this one. This one is called less than. As in 4 is less than 6. You don't have your goggles today.
No.
Oh, I didn't see him yet, black shirt and black goggles.
Sorry to get used to it.
This one is less than or equal to. I was wondering if it was a light thing. Photosensitivity. 4 is less than or equal to 6, but 6 is less than or equal to 6 also. So here it can be either less than or equal to. Then we have our other ones. Ones that open to the left. The greater than. And greater than or equal to. Seven is greater than five. And seven is greater than or equal to seven. Seven is greater than or equal to five. We do numbers all the way up to the number we're looking at, but not go over. If you struggle with remembering what the signs do. Symbols do. Treat it like a fucking alligator or vampire or Pac-Man. Let's put some teeth on this motherfucker. Every alligator or vampire. And fuck, even Pac-Man, for those of you who know who he is. Enjoys the bigger meal. Wants the bigger meal. Well, maybe not vampires. Vampires can be picky bitches. Alligator, well, they'll fucking. Most animals that hunt will go for the largest thing that they can take down. So they can eat longer on it or not have to eat, hunt again for a little longer. Pac-Man likes the big power pellets rather than the little power pellets. Who's here's played Pac-Man? More than I thought. For those of you that haven't played Pac-Man. He looks like this. He was in the movie Pixels. That was fun. Alright. So where is this gonna come up in our class? It's gonna come up a lot, pairing dozens. I know, it's not the most exciting thing, but I try to entertain you with stories like round up. So this is gonna happen often in our class, we will compare decimals. So let's say we're comparing 0.79163 and 0.79173. And we want to decide which number is the larger number. Check them one at a time, one decimal at a time. Sevens are equal. Nines are equal. Ones are equal. Then we get to the 6 and the 7. 6 is less than 7. So 7.91623 is less than 0.79127. Depending on what you're looking at, some type fonts, this and this are the same. They're both meant to show the inequality. These are called inequality symbols. Same thing with greater than, where it's like open like that, and one where the bottom's flat. Those are both supposed to be greater than. Just some type fonts do it differently. Just to keep your mind on it. So let's give you guys a couple to do. Compare 0.004 and 0.005. Should I use less than or greater than here and why? Someone said something, but I couldn't hear it. Why you gotta be all quiet about it? Loud and proud.
Less than.
Less than, why less than? Well, yeah, but why is it less, why is the first number less than the second number? The third decimal place is the 4, third decimal place is the 5. The other two match, it will be less than. College is so much different than high school. For those of you that were recently in high school, I'll tell you right now. While high school people gave a fuck and could be total dicks to each other. Most college students aren't gonna fucking say shit. In fact, if you answer the teacher. They're gonna be happy you did because they were too chicken to answer, but they wanted to know they wanted to know if it was right or not. You're doing them a favor. Don't give a fuck what other people think. Speak loud and proud. No fear. What about 0.04 and 0.005? Greater than, why?
Decimal point is higher. On the left there.
Well, I don't know, yeah. If we go in 2 decimal places, this is 0.4 and this is 0.0. If you need to compare fractions. This is easy if the bottoms are the same. Just compare the tops. If they're not. Switch to a decimal. Make your life easier. I'll do 2 quick examples, one of each. 4/5 versus 3/5. The bottoms are the same, so we're gonna compare the top. And 4 is greater than 3. So 4/5 is greater than 3/5. And you can find the same thing if you convert it to a decimal, but you don't even need to waste your time on the bottom of the same. If you're trying to compare 7/9 and 8/11 though. Well. This one's got a bigger denominator, but it's also got a bigger top. I don't know which one is bigger. So if you throw this in a calculator, this is 0.777777 going on and on and on. And this is 0.72727272. So the 7/9 is bigger. With the repetition bar, this is written as 0.7 or 0.7 with the bar over it. And this one is written as 0.72 with the bar over it. And our hour or 50 minutes is up. So ends the torture.